Governor Soludo commends security agencies for sustaining fight against insecurity. Anambra State government restated resolve to equip children with technological skills to compete effectively globally. President Buhari seeks support of Nigerians in fight against insurgency. In on the foreign scene, Rwanda denies entry to people fleeing violence in Democratic Republic of Congo. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. My name is Chidima Oranwa. The news in detail. The Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has called for the support of the war veterans to enable them care for themselves and their families. The governor made the call during a church service at St. Faith Cathedral Church, Awka, to mark this year's Armed Forces Day. We have details of this report from our studio.
Governor Soludo, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solo Chukwulobel, appreciated the efforts of the security agencies in the state in fighting insecurity and criminalities, as well as those who have served in the various theaters of war. He prayed for the souls of those who paid the supreme price in the cause of defending their country, while commending the service chiefs in the state for their commitments in tackling insecurity, reminded them of the efforts of the state government in the areas of security and infrastructural development, calling on all to join hands to further improve the state. The governor said that vigilante groups have been adequately empowered to partner with other security agencies to ensure effective security. In a sermon, the bishop on the Niger West, Right Reverend Johnson Ekwe, advocated integrity, loyalty, discipline, and core values among the various security agencies, noting that when the righteous is on the throne, the people rejoice. The bishop, while condemning all forms of sycophancy, noted that such aids crime and called for collaborative relationship as a way of tackling insecurity in the nation as well as addressing the issue of hunger. He called on Nigerians to vote in competent administration to restore the nation to its glory.
The Technical Working Group of the National Steering Committee on Flooding has completed its on-the-spot assessment of the after effects of the recent flood disaster in Anambra State with Obara local government area, describing devastation in the area as terrible. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo reports.
The group visited the major affected areas of the council area, including Naval Outpost Onitsha, where the fence and other structures were collapsed by the flooding. Federal Road linking Onitsha and Obaru was totally devastated, including the major bridges on the road. They also visited the Obaru local government headquarters in Atani, where the entire fence, gate, and other structures were pulled down. Speaking during the exercise, the Anambra State Deputy Governor Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim commended the team and expressed the hope that they will produce an excellent report at the end and that the federal government will intervene immediately to save people in the areas from untold hardship. Dr. Ibezim emphasized the need for both states and federal governments to join efforts to end the issue of flooding in Nigeria, as the incident has cost the country much, including life and property, noting that Anambra is among the most affected. Deputy Governor Ibezim, who made the call while interacting with the team during the tour of some of the flood-affected local government areas in Anambra State, said federal government's efforts towards preferring permanent solution to the flood disaster in the country should be paramount.
On this major work, the whole span of road, kilometers, tens of kilometers of road, is gone and needs quite a quick intervention, because people are trapped on the other side of the road. So that's why we are here.
The leader of the team, Engineer Dilichukwu Etibwe, while rating damages recorded in the state after the recent flood outbreak in some parts of the country high, promised that the team will submit the report as soon as possible to the presidency for onward action.
We've taken notes and we've taken all these things, and we will capture them in our reports so as to obey the presidential directive for a comprehensive plan of action for the prevention of flood disaster in Nigeria.
The Transition Committee Chairman of Obaru Local Government Area, Mr. Pascal Aniebunam, called on the Buhari-led administration to, as a matter of urgency, intervene on the Obaru Federal Road, as it is the only major route that connects various communities in the area and as well links the council area with Onitsha.
Government has shown interest. The state government, the federal government, they have really interest in helping us out. We pray they hasten up so that something be done here and fastly too.
A villager at Omunankwo Osamala in Obaru Council area, Mr. Sylvester Nsofo, commended the federal and state governments on the visit and assured that the people in the area will maximally support the government during the construction of the collapsed bridges, and pleaded that government should hasten up with the construction of the federal roads to lessen their suffering.
The Anambra State government has warned that anybody caught collecting any form of internally generated revenue from wheelbarrow pushers, hawkers, petty traders and vulcanizers will be arrested and prosecuted. A statement signed by the Commissioner for Information, Sepong, also regretted that in spite of the exemption of these categories of people from IGR announced earlier by the state government, some unscrupulous market leaders and their agents continue to fleece them of their meager income. The release informed the Anambra State Amalgamated Traders Association, ASMATA, individual market associations and the general public that these categories of people are exempted from fees, charges, rates, levies and others. It explained that in view of the present harsh economic realities, government decided to waive their payments for them as a way of making their livelihood easier and warned of serious consequences against anybody or group violating this directive. Anambra State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chuma-Ude, says the intent of the present administration on education is to grow skillfully and technologically empowered children who will become a source of hope for the state and also be exportable.
That reclaiming all the community schools that are dilapidated and raising them to the standard of smart schools, commended the donor High Chief Calestus Ibe for bringing back his wealth home to impact lives.
Somebody can adopt a primary school or a secondary school because we want to reclaim all the community schools that are dilapidated. We want to raise them to the standard of smart schools.
The president of Okadike Kingdom Talent Foundation, High Chief Calestus Ibe, in an interview, said he set up the foundation to assist in training children from the grassroots and expressed joy that the foundation, which is barely 3 years, has made remarkable progress. High Chief Okadike enjoined the beneficiaries to utilize the opportunities given to them as it will assist them greatly in life.
Now support that my idea. Maka that atomatuma oboro ihe mutara ono diko ihe mara natural.
In a welcome address, the Chief Executive Officer, Okadike Talent Hunt, High Chief Paulinus Ezekwe, said their mission is to partner with the government at all levels for sustainable development goals of imparting on the pupils the need for entrepreneurship to reduce dropping out of school and get rich quick syndromes. Some guests, Chief Alex Enanya and Azuka Omudinjo, who supported the project, remarked that the talent hunt will impact positively on the pupils, while Honorable John Rufus Ifanacho gave kudos to all the schools and teachers for turning out in numbers to participate in the talent hunt. Marvelous Uchendo from Umohi Community School took the first position in Spelling Bee, while Ifesnachi Samto from the same school and Ekene Ebulue from Owenabo Central School Okija went for the second and third positions respectively. Nwachukwu Chijindo from St. Peter's Primary School took the first position in the drawing competition. Ike from St. John Isieke and Ifeanyi Nwadiugu from Umohi Community Primary School clinched the second and third positions. The founder, High Chief Ibe, gave a one-year scholarship, cash prizes and plaques to all the winners, and also a cash of 1 million naira to all the headmistresses and teachers of participating schools for preparing their pupils well. The traditional ruler of Okija Town, Igwe Emeka Okezie, the President General, Chief Ken Emma Akayi, friends and associates of the donor graced the event. Some of the winners, Ifeanyi Nwadugu and Ekene Ebulue, thanked the founder and prayed to God to bless him.
I thank God for Okadike Talent Foundation, and I want God to make them to be alive to see the 2024.
Hip-hop and a brief speech on the importance of harnessing talents climaxed the show. From Okija, Ogochukwu Orano for ABS News.
People from all walks of life recently trooped out to witness the solemnization of holy matrimony between former Mr. Thelma Anthony and Mr. Kenneth Ohalete at St. Anthony's Parish, Umunachi, Oswama, East Alambano, Imo State. The groom is the son of a philanthropist, Chief Theodore Ohalete, who the community holds in high esteem. The event, which was a fun fair, attracted traditional rulers, government functionaries and business associates who came to share in the joy of the newly wedded couple. Faith Onyemuche has details.
The event, which was a fun fair, attracted traditional rulers, government functionaries, and business associates who came to share in the joy of the newly wedded couple. The wedding ceremony was officiated by the parish priest of St. Anthony's Parish, Umunachi, Reverend Father Charles Ekwonu. Exchanging marital vows, the couple, Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Ohalete, promised to love, cherish and stay committed to each other, pointing out that their relationship of over 5 years have been filled with love and beautiful memories.
Today is my day. Today is my wedding day. That's why we are here today, to celebrate each other.
But finally God did it. I'm getting married to the love of my life, my soulmate, so I'm very happy.
They appreciated God for making their union a dream come through. Earlier in a homily, a visiting priest, Reverend Father Evans Ibubu, said for a marriage to be enjoyed, it must be built on love, while advising the couple to always hold on to God. The holy matrimony was immediately followed with a grand reception at Community School Field, Izike, where guests were entertained. Speaking to the ABS in separate interviews, the groom's parents, Chief and Lolo Theodora Ohalete, expressed joy in the turnout of the event and appreciated all who spent some time to celebrate with them as they poured parental blessings on their children.
It is a plus. The man who is of my age receiving his daughter-in-law. I should be excited, and that is why I'm excited.
On their part, the bride's parents, Chief and Lolo Chidi Ohebulem, who will also feel the joy, thanked God for the success of the event, while praying that the union will be a point of reference for good. Some of the guests who spoke to the ABS took turns to congratulate the couple and prayed for peace in their union. Exchange of wedding rings, cutting of cake and nuptial dance featured at the ceremony. Faith Onyemuche, reporting for ABS.
President Muhammad Buhari has urged Nigerians to demonstrate a high sense of patriotism to sustain the gains recorded in the war against insurgency. Buhari made the call when in Damaturu and joined the citizens to develop strong confidence in the country and security institutions to deny terrorists chance to destabilize the country again. The president said government will continue to protect the right to education of Nigerian children, especially those displaced by Boko Haram insurgency. He noted that the country had bounced back, waxing stronger in spite of attempts by enemies of progress. He also commended the armed forces, the police and all the security outfits for their sacrifices in protecting the country. And on the foreign scene, Rwanda says it can no longer offer refuge to people fleeing violence in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, stuck in already high tension between the Central African neighbors. Persistent fighting in the east of the mineral-rich DRC pits federal troops against rebels from the M23 group, which has captured sway over territory. The DRC, along with the United States and several European countries, has repeatedly accused Rwanda of backing the Tutsi-led rebels from M23, although Kigali denies the charge. Tensions have soared due to the fighting, and thousands have fled the battles into neighboring states, including Rwanda. In November, the UN said about 72,000 Congolese refugees had crossed into Rwanda. Kigali has repeatedly blamed Kinshasa for the crisis and accused the international community of turning a blind eye to the DRC's alleged support for the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, a mainly Rwandan Hutu rebel movement implicated in the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. Two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has been called out by rival Joseph Parker, with the two heavyweights looking to rebuild their careers. Parker makes this return to the ring on January 21st against Jack Massey on the undercard of Chris Eubank Jr.'s fight with Liam Smith. It comes after the New Zealander was knocked out by Joe Joyce in their thriller last September. Joyce became only the third man to beat Parker behind Joshua and Dillian White. And the former WBO champion is eyeing revenge against his British rivals after returning against Mercy in Manchester. The remains of the late Mrs. Agnes Urebe have been laid to rest at Umwalo Village, Ubene, in Awkas North local government area. The deceased, who passed on at the age of 78 after a brief illness, was the mother of the Chief Executive Officer of Wisdom Park Anambra Rise, Mr. Godwin Urebe. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata reports.
The arrival of late Urebe's body into her husband's compound for interment brought tears and wailings from family members and colleagues as hundreds of residents of Ubene trooped out to honor and pay their last respect to the deceased. Earlier in a homily during a requiem mass at St. Peter's Catholic Church, Ubene, Reverend Father Emmanuel Ofomata highlighted the importance of working together with Christ while on earth and explained that every individual has a specific time to spend, adding that death is inevitable for all mortals. Extolling the virtues of the deceased, the parish priest of St. Peter's Catholic Church, Ubene, Reverend Father Ignatius Uko, described her as a great icon, advocate of righteousness and lover of truth, and maintained that she was very generous and her contributions in the church and society were evident.
She was always around, helping in whatever way she could. The family, to emulate the legacy she left for them, teaching them through her activities and everything how to obey God and love God. I think this religious education she gave them and left for them is the greatest legacy she can leave for the family.
Commiserating with the deceased family, the traditional defense minister of Ubene, Chief Chukwu Kadibia Onwolukwe, and some friends to the family, including Chief Arthur Mbuba, Mr. Nnamdi Meko, and Barrister Tony Anazo, advised her children to live up to the legacies of their late mother and to take solace in the good life that their mother lived, even as they also prayed God to give them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. In separate interviews, the children of the deceased, Mr. Jonas Urebe, Mr. Edwin Urebe, Mrs. Cecilia Agomado, Mrs. Justina Wakeze, and a grandson, Mr. Samuel Abata, expressed gratitude to those who contributed in giving their mother a befitting burial, assuring that the peace, unity, and love their mother left with them will continue to exist, and prayed God to rest her soul in perfect peace.
She just brought us together as one united family. You won't eat without your brother. My mother is a peaceful woman, and I believe she is in the bosom of God.
She's someone that forgives. She's a quiet type. She always like this, and she always advises us to be together. That we should not bother with one another. That we should continue live. Even before she died, she advised me that I should keep on gathering the rest of us together. We should, in every problem that we should settle in amicably. We should not have any issues between one another.
Dance and condolence visit from friends and sympathizers featured at the ceremony. Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
That's just about it on the news this morning, but remember that you can follow ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Orca. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Orca. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now a quick look at our top stories. Governor Soludo has commended security agencies for sustaining fight against insecurity. Anambra State government has restated results to equip children with technological skills to compete effectively globally. President Buhari is taking support of Nigerians in fight against insurgency. And on the foreign scene, we also told you that Rwanda has denied entry to people fleeing violence in Democratic Republic of Congo. Remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has campaigned for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news at 7. Thank you so much for being part of it. Good morning.